Welcome back, gamers. So, with the Chicago Regional on the horizon and the $1,000 retro side event in mind, I thought I'd start doing a little bit more retro content and sharing some of my favorite characters and deck designs to play in retro. And I thought I would start with a character that I really enjoyed playing, especially if you were a control player, you will love this type of character, Dejanette, from my favorite Universus set, 7th Cross. So for those not in the know, 7th Cross was a set designed where every character in the set had a second version of the character, and they primarily focused on the gauge mechanic, which could allow you to build other copies of your character straight from your deck or discard pile. So we have Dejanette 1, which is your starting character, and Dejanette 2. Two different versions of the same character with two different abilities, and when you use an ability or even just build as a form the different version of Dejanette, you gain access to all of that character's other abilities. But we're mainly here to talk about Dejanette 1's primary abilities. So she's a 7-hand size, 21 health character with all, evil, and void as her symbols. As a static, before the game begins, search your deck for one copy of Spell Circle and add it to your momentum, then shuffle your deck. So you start the game with a momentum. That's already pretty good, right? As an enhance during our rival's turn, if we have at least one momentum, we may look at the top of our deck and we may mill one. So always guaranteeing that you've got a good check on defense is really cool. But it's this response that's where the magic lies. We spend one momentum. After our rival plays any card as a form, clear it from their card pool. Your rival may lose X health. To add the discarded card from their discard pile back to their hand, X equals the number of characters in our stage. So, you will see that I have 3 Dejanette 1 in the deck. One of them is our starting character, so we'll have 2 Dejanette 1s in the deck, and 3 Dejanette 2s also in the deck. So that means if we have all 6 of our characters in our stage at once, we can spend a momentum to clear an attack that our rival plays on their turn. And if they want to try to pick it up and do it again, they have to pay 6 health to pick that card up. Now, the first time I played this character, my rival did not read her properly, and he allowed me to get 8 momentum and 6 characters. And I was playing a mostly throws package because I wanted to gain momentum. So 8 momentum, 6 characters. He didn't touch me a single time after that. And Dejanette 2 does have abilities of her own. The first is Enhance, commit 1 foundation. Your attack gains EXX, where X equals the number of characters in your stage. So EX is an enhance ability that says spend X any number of momentum, and for each momentum you spend, gain X speed. X is the EX value. So if we have like 3 characters in our stage, we can give all of our attacks EX3, spending our momentum to gain 3 speed each. We also have a first form, spend 1 momentum, look at the top X cards of your deck and replace them in any order. X equals the number of characters in your stage. So being able to stack our deck as we need for the whole turn. Now, I will admit, for this deck, we will not be really focusing on Dejanette 2's abilities. We're only going to be focusing on Dejanette 1's abilities to spy our checks on our rival's turn for defense, and being able to clear attacks as needed. So let's go to our attacks, shall we? We have Lightning Torture, a 4 difficulty 3 control, 2 mid for 4, no block, so you cannot block with this card. It's got Charge, Gauge 4, and Throw. As a throw, it will always deal half damage rounded up even if completely blocked. With Gauge 4, that means Gauge 4 is an enhance ability, and you activate it by just saying, I'm going to use my Gauge 4 ability, and that means if this attack deals at least 4 damage, you may search your deck or discard pile for a character card that shares a name of your starting character and build it. So if we deal 4 damage with our lightning torture, we can just search our deck or discard pile for either Dejanet 1 or Dejanet 2, either one, and just immediately build it into our stage. And then it also has another enhance. If there are at least 2 character cards in your stage and or discard pile, this attack gets +3 damage. So that means if we've checked a character, this is always going to do 4 damage unless your rival messes with the damage. So that's always going to get us another character. Next up is probably my favorite gauge attack, Prism Storm of Torment, a 7 difficulty, 3 control, 7 high for 7 with a 1 low block. It's got ally, deadlock, stun 7, which means if our rival has at least 11 foundations, we can make them commit 7 of them. It has gauge 7, so again, if it deals at least 7 damage, we get to search our deck or discard pile for a character and build it, and ranged. As a static, if it is the 7th card we've attempted to play this turn, it automatically passes and gains 7 speed, with no check necessary. Automatically becomes a 14 high 7. And that is enhance. We get to add all characters that share a name with our starting character from our discard pile to our stage. So if we have 4 characters in our discard pile, and we just raw play Prism Storm of Torment on a 7, we just get to build every character from our discard pile. That is incredibly strong. That is incredibly good setup for just locking our rival down and saying, hey, you're going to have to pay a lot of health to try to hit me. And if you can't, you're just going to lose your cards. We have Lightning Shot, a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 4 bid for 4 with a 1 high block, charge, gauge 3, and ranged. With card pool, response card pool. So you can only use this response while this card is in your card pool. After your rival readies 1 or more foundations due to their effect, flip one of them. So if our rival has, like, spend a momentum, ready this card, they flip it. And then we have Enhance. This attack gains Stun X, where X equals the number of character cards in your stage and discard pile, maximum 3. So this can get up to Stun 3 pretty quickly. And that's a pretty good way to push through damage to make sure that you're gaining another character with your gauge. We also have Reduction. This is a rando card. I love this card. It is a 3 difficulty, 3 control, 1 mid for 1 with a 1 mid block, Breaker 2, and ranged. Breaker 2 is a responsibility that says after you block with this card, your rival's next check to play a card gets -2. As a static, it says while this card is in your card pool, while this card is in your card pool, your other attacks gain +2 speed and +2 damage, and your rival is considered to be at desperation. So desperation is an old school term of saying you're at half of your current health is less than half of your printed health. And rando had a lot of effects that went on that activated if your rival was at less than half their printed health. But this is mainly here for the +2 speed and +2 damage, just making sure everything gets through and deals the damage it needs. And then we have Enhance. If this attack is not blocked, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So your rival has to go out of their way to block a 1 damage move. If not, you automatically get a momentum, and then reduction goes to your momentum anyway, so you stock more momentum. You're forcing your rival to waste resources, because you start with this 1 mid 1. They have to block it. And then every other attack is coming in with an additional 2 speed and 2 damage. It's pretty good. I love this card. Next we have Ailurophobia, which I believe means the fear of cats, which is a 4/3, 3 mid for 2, 2 mid block with powerful 2 and weapon. Powerful 2 being an enhance that says spend any number of momentum, and for each momentum spent you get +2 damage. As an enhance, this attack gets +2 damage for each character card in your stage, and +1 speed for each character card in your discard pile. So if we've got like 3 in our stage and 3 in our discard pile, we've got 6 damage and 3 speed, making this a 6 mid for 8, which is pretty good stats on a 4 diff. But wait, there's more. As another enhance, we can remove any card in our stage. Double this attack's damage. That's really, really, really good. That is really strong. This card is an insane kill condition. You add this to with reduction, so it's a 5 mid for 4. And then it gets a bunch of damage and speed with its own ability, and then you remove a card to double its damage. This is a great way to blow your rival out of the water. If they are tapped down because of reduction and lightning shot, and then you just throw Ilurophobia and say, hey, you're all tapped out. I've been stockpiling momentum to play defensively. I'm just going to pour it all into this powerful and then remove a card to double it. And you can just pop your rival out of nowhere. And lastly, we have Deicide. This is an interesting one. It's a 4/3, 6 mid for 0, with a 2 high block, excuse me. As a static, while this card is in your card pool, after you play a combo attack, you may change one of its requirements in the combo requirements to Deicide until the end of the turn. So this can basically be a combo requirement for any card. And then we have Enhance. If this card is not blocked, add 1 card from your card pool to your momentum. So if our rival doesn't block a 0 damage move, we get to add something like Lightning Shot to our momentum immediately, or Lightning Torture. We can just say, yeah, this isn't going to deal any damage on its own. Or maybe we've got Reduction. We played Reduction, we played Lightning Shot, we play Deicide. And we say, hey, this is an 8 mid for 2. I've already stun 3'd you. Are you really going to be able to block an 8 mid for 2? If not, you take 2 damage, and I get to clear the Lightning Shot into my momentum. So it's a really fun way to just look at your rival and say, do you really want to spend the resources to not give me the momentum to then mess up your turn? Like I said, it's a prison style deck. It's going to make a lot of hard decisions. I didn't put any assets or backups in this deck, but we'll start our actions with Spell Circle. This is Dejanette's signature card. It is a 3 difficulty, 5 control action, no block. As a static, you're only allowed 1 copy of this card in your deck, and it is, to my knowledge, the only card that you can only ever have 1 copy of in your deck. As a Void Enhance, so you can only use this enhance if your character has the Void symbol, which we do, you can remove it from your hand. Your rival discards a card. Just snap, get rid of it. From our discard pile, as a response, we may discard 1 card. After the ready phase, so ours or our rivals, we get to add Spell Circle from our discard pile to our momentum. Hey, I'm going to discard a card maybe that doesn't have a block and gain a momentum so I can kick one of your best cards out. Bye-bye. And the thing is with Dejanette, you use that response after they've already committed foundations to pass checks as well, so you can just force your rival to keep paying foundations to try to play their cards. And then as a response in our remove from game pile, we can remove a card from our hand. After the ready phase, add Spell Circle to your momentum. So we always guarantee that we will always have a momentum with Spell Circle, because it's at the start of any ready phase, not just ours, not just our rivals. Depending on whatever we need, if we know we're going to go in with Ilurophobia at the end of a string, we can just put Spell Circle right into our momentum and say, hey, I've got a bullet in the chamber for my Ilurophobia. We also have Barrier Shield, a 2/5, 2 high block. It's got the ally keyword. As a static, it does not count towards progressive difficulty. Fine. As an enhance, we remove Barrier Shield, reduce this attack speed to 0. The next card you play this turn gains Breaker 2. So again, Breaker 2, if we block with that card, our rival's next check gets -2, which really works well with our Dejanette Prison, forcing our rival to keep playing things, because they're going to have to commit more foundations if they want to keep it around, or failing that check will end their combat phase. So if they don't want to fail it, they have to commit, and then we use Dejanette to kick it and say, pay some health to try it again, and we just make our rival sad. We also have an enhance. Our rival cannot add cards to their hand during this attack due to their non-character effects. We don't really care about that. And we have Revoke, a 0/5 with no block. As a response, after your rival plays an enhance ability, cancel its effects and remove this card. This can cancel character abilities too. Any sort of enhance. You can just say, hey, no, I'm not going to let you do that. Or as a first form, we can play this as a form and say our foundations get -1 difficulty for the rest of the turn, and during the end phase, we get to build Revoke face down as an additional foundation. So it can become a foundation or an enhance cancel, whatever we need it to be. Very versatile, very powerful. Onto our foundations, we have Clumsy Entrance, a 2/4, 2 high block with first enhance flip. If this is the first attack played this turn, add it to its owner's hand. A card with the same name as that attack cannot be played as the next form this turn. So our rival plays an attack, we flip this as the first enhance, put it back in their hand, and make them do it again. And when they do another attack, we say, yeah, sure, fine, and then they play the first attack they initially played, and we use Station It to kick it because we don't want them to play that attack. We are controlling when our rival gets to play what cards, and it's a very powerful ability. We have Juggling Groceries, a 1/5, 3 high block, enhance commit. This attack gets -2 speed. If your rival has more foundations than you, it gets -3 speed instead. Pretty simple speed hate. We have Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5, 3 high block with unique. Enhance commit, return this attack to its printed speed or damage. So just depending on what we can't afford to deal with, if we know we can't block it, we return it to printed damage. If we need to block it, we return it to printed speed. Pretty simple. We have Rifle Arm, a 2/5, 3 low block with weapon. Enhance commit, this attack gets +2 or -2 speed, excuse me. If it is the only attack in its owner's card pool, it gets +3 or -3 speed instead. So this is really funny to give 3 speed to a reduction and say, hey, it's a 4 mid 1. You really gonna block it? You really gonna waste more resources to block 1 damage and make sure I don't get another momentum? It's just really funny. We have Invincible Body, a 3/5, 4 mid block, as our first enhance. So the first enhance we want to play, during a rival attack. Remove this card, reduce this attack's damage to 0. Oh, you worked really hard to get that attack and you paid so much health to pick it up finally. Now its attack is 0. Sorry. We have Defending Pageant Queen, a 2/5, 3 high block. Enhance remove, reduce this attack's speed to 1. Playing a lot of speed hate in this deck to try to defend very well. We've got Helping Tomura, which is a fun card. It's a 1/4, 3 low block. Response, after you add a card to your momentum, add this card to your momentum. So this is kind of why I have a lot of speed hate, because some of our foundations kind of give themselves up to give us more momentum. And this could be if Spell Circle adds to the momentum, if we add momentum at the end of the turn because an attack dealt damage, or with cards like Deicide and Reduction, we can just automatically put this card into our momentum. So that helps fuel like the Ailurophobia trick at the end of a long string, or it just prepares us for our rival's turn. We have Hell's Reach, a 0/5, 3 mid block. Enhance flip, ready this card, and this is a Tenacious ability, playable while this card is committed. So just good for stringing out or helping us string defensively as well. We've got the Evil Eye, a 2/5, 2 high block. Abilities on this card are playable while it is committed. They are both Tenacious. We can enhance flip, return this attack to its printed speed. Pretty good. Or enhance remove 1 character from your hand or card pool to draw 1 card. We will not be doing that, but it's mainly here for the returning an attack to its printed speed. This is also good if our rival is trying to reduce our speed. We can just flip this to return it to printed and we don't care. It doesn't cost us our speed hate like with Rifle Arm or anything like that. It can just reset our attack to printed. We've got Moment of Rest, a 1/5 with no block. As a 7th cross response, so you can only play this response if your character is from the 7th cross set, which we are. Flip. After you play a character card that you could normally attach to your character, add it to your stage. So if we just play a Diginet 2 on a 6 and pass it, we can just flip a Moment of Rest to automatically bring it down. And it does not say as a form. So even if we block with that character card, we can block with Diginet and then flip this to build it down. So that's pretty cool. And then we have Enhance, Flip. This attack gains gauge X. X equals printed damage. So we can say, hey, reduction gets gauge 1. So if it deals the 1 damage, I get a character and a momentum. But if you don't try to block it, you know, I get all of that. So you do have to block this card. So really forcing them to waste their resources. We have Invoking Blood Magic, a 2/5 4 mid-block. As a static, your rival must spend 1 momentum as an additional cost to play abilities that would cause you to spend momentum. So this is mainly in here to protect our investment in our momentum, so that our rival can't be like, oh, here's an attack that says your rival spends their entire momentum. We're not playing that game. Unless they have momentum, of course, but Diginet's playing a lot of really hard defense. And then as an evil enhance, so if our character has the evil symbol, which we do, we can use this enhance, remove, reduce this attack speed to 0. Only playable if you have lost health this turn. So if an attack did get by, we can reduce another attack speed to 0 in a pinch. We have Uniting Rebels, a 0/6 3 mid-block with Desperation Enhance. Once per turn, gain 1 health. So as a 21 health character, if we are at 10 health or less, we can just once per turn gain a health for free on both players' turns. So it's a great way to try to keep ourselves alive. We have Ophidiophobia, which I believe is the fear of bugs. A 2/5 3 low block. Enhance Flip. If this attack is blocked, it deals no damage. So this is why we have a lot of speed hate, so we can guarantee that that attack's not going to do anything. And lastly, we have Wisdom of Caster, a 2/4 3 mid-block with Unique. Enhance Commit. This attack is -1 damage and -2 speed for each character card in your stage. So if we have all 6, that's -6 damage and -12 speed on a commit. That's a lot. That is a lot of danger here. And that is the basics of my Diginet Blood Prison. There were some other cards I had considered, such as Race Against Time. So this says response remove. After an attack is played, remove it. Its owner may play 1 attack with the same printed difficulty as the removed card from their discard pile with no check. So if our rival doesn't have a card, an attack with the same difficulty in their discard pile, you just remove that card completely and they don't get to play an attack. So if they play like a 6 diff and they haven't checked a 6 diff or anything, you can just say, hey, remove that card and good luck. Or if they play a 4 diff and they only have 5 diffs in their discard pile, get rid of it. And then there was, I think, another old school Gemini Man Foundation I wanted to play that I think it was the Strength of Pollux, but I think I had too many mid blocks. But his response, commit after you make a check, it gets +1 for each character card in your stage. And then you can commit, spend a momentum to get +4 damage. I think so. Yeah. And then there was also a card like Narcissist. You can basically add a character to the top of your deck to guarantee a 6 check. Or enhance, add a character card from your discard pile to your hand, so you guarantee a 0 mid-block. I thought about it, but again, I had a lot of non-block cards anyway, so I didn't want to solidify that. But that is Diginet, the Blood Countess, and her monstrous form, the Devil's Own. I love this character. I love all the 7th Cross characters. I think all of them are really interesting and unique, and I I really wish there was a way to reprint this set to where they could actually just transform. And, you know, I know we have the gauge mechanic and everything now, but I wish there was a way to, like, redo all of that and then get the second half of 7th Cross. If you haven't seen my, like, I think it's like an hour-long discussion about 7th Cross, that's a video that's older on my channel, and I think I titled it, like, the greatest game you've never played, where I go over all the other characters in 7th Cross, and, like, they're just so cool. So it's such a cool set, such fun art, such cool lore. And UVS Games, if anyone watches this, please maybe try to figure something like this out. I'd love it. But yeah, so that is the first of my many retros to come. I am still doing some more competitive versions of Reign of Kaiju characters, so stay tuned for that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It would help me out a lot, and I would see you in the next one. Take care.